Dodos are gone, and hey, the world still exists. Dinosaurs died. Whoa, lo and behold, we're all fine. We don't need these fucking stupid animals. Just keep a couple of 100,000 chicken eggs and maybe some cows if you want a hamburger and you get tired of chicken. Maybe some fish. If you want to take your girlfriend out to a nice dinner or something. Those are the only three animals we need: chicken, fucking beef, fish. Fuck pork. Pork's for fucking. I don't fucking care. No one eats pork. Pork's disgusting. Um, that's all you need. Those three things. The rest, fuck them all. We don't need we don't need carrier pigeons. We have email. We don't need fucking police dogs or horses. We don't need any of these things. Anything an animal could, even remotely contribute to our society, we can build a machine that does it 10 times better. Guaranteed. Anything. Think of fucking anything. Animals are worthless. They always have been, but it's just more apparent as human beings advance how worthless they are. Fuck animals. Don't really need to say anything more than that. Next topic. Alright. Now, I know I just went on like a 10-minute tirade about how animals are worthless, but, I took a little break, I drank some Dr. Pepper, I cooled down, and I was actually able to think of one thing that animals have contributed to society that was actually worthwhile. And, I could just, do the jokes, whatever, but I like to be fair. I don't like being called like a hypocrite and stuff and all that. Like, I don't think anybody really does. So I think it's only fair that I point out something that animals actually have contributed to society. And that thing would be the Animorph books. Animorphs is the greatest literary work of the last 100 years, easily. The covers alone were enough to make me convince my parents to spend way more money than they should have. Animorphs are fucking sick. Um, that one where that girl turned into a starfish and then got cut in half, and then she regrew her body parts, and then she unmorphed, and then it was a good one and a bad one. That that book was probably like one of the most well-written stories of our time. The great scholars of 200 years from now will look back on that as, this century's Romeo and Juliet. It was amazing, and I'm not afraid to say that it was the only book I've ever read that made me cry. Um, so I'm just trying to say this in all fairness. I don't want to, come off as like a curmudgeon or something. Animals are cool because of the animorphs. I'll give you that one. But other than that, they're all worthless and they should be eradicated. The next topic I want to talk about is D&D. That's correct. It was D&D. That was what people wanted me to talk about. And what do I have to say about D&D? D&D's a fun game. It's fun. Use your imagination. Whatever. You make scenarios and you go through stories. It's fun. Um, but kind of tangentially to that, um, the worst thing about D&D is D&D podcasts. Oh boy, I have a lot to say about D&D podcasts. I guess I should just start off with the big one is they're all terrible. That's the first thing. Every D&D podcast that's ever existed is awful. If it's not awful now, it'll be awful in about, 25 episodes, give or take. Um, they're all bad. There's a million of them. Here's the formula. One, work in IT. For some reason, everyone who runs a D&D podcast is like in, technical support. I don't understand it. It's like so many of them. So one, work in IT. Two, find like 3 to 4 people who don't really have a lot going on in their lives and can dedicate a whole night of their life every day to your stupid idea. Three, get alcohol because every fucking D&D podcast has to get they have to get so fucking drunk for some reason. Why? When was that like the formula for comedy? You take these boring people who work in IT and have nothing going on in their lives. They bring on a girl so they don't seem sexist, I guess, because all these D&D podcasts are really like liberal for some reason. I don't understand that. I don't, whatever. So like we don't want to seem sexist, so they always bring in some token woman, which I find more sexist. And then two, she's always married to somebody. Like you couldn't just find like a girl friend? You get to like one of you guys had to bring your spouse? Did you not know any other women? Is she like such a bearing down harpy that she won't let you to speak to other people? There's a lot of things I don't understand, and I'm not paying the Patreon money to fucking listen to these fucking people do a Q&A so I can learn all this bullshit. Fuck that. I'm not retarded. But like I don't understand this mindset, and so many people have the same one. It can't be a coincidence, right? It can't be like, oh, there's 10,000 D&D podcasts and 9,000 of them just they're all the same. That seems improbable, right? I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I don't run a D&D podcast, so stop drinking on your podcast. You're not funny. You're not. These people get so sloppy drunk, they're slurring their words. People are so drunk, talking like these mush-mouthed fucking idiots. Is that entertainment to you? Could you imagine if you turn on the television, but let's just say you wanted to watch fucking Game of Thrones and fucking Jon Snow is fucking slurring and stumbling all over the place. Would that be entertaining to you? Or would you want him to put on a performance, put on a persona, become the character, and portray a story that's interesting and captivating and conveys, human emotions that you find relatable in your own life, even though it's in a setting unfamiliar to you? In this fantastical setting. Isn't that what you want? But no. When you get to the D&D podcast, it's these sloppy drunk fuckers who can't even fucking get one word out with fucking burping into the fucking microphone and fucking drinking their fucking beer bottles here, fucking clanging over the place. Is this entertainment? Is this what people are tuning into every week? These fucking idiots? That's not even the worst part. The drinking and stuff. Stop eating and shit on microphone because that's the worst thing ever. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. I don't want to get bogged down. So they get super drunk. All of a sudden, they think just because they all laugh, they're all drunk, so they're all laughing at each other's stupid jokes, and therefore, if they all laugh, therefore it's all funny. No one says anything funny. These people aren't funny. They all have these like this weird like I don't want to say agendas because they're not like pushing it, but it's so banal. And I think they do it so they could get like on iTunes or something, so they're afraid to call people like I can't even think of a stuff off the top of my head. Uh oh, the worst one. Oh, the worst one. I just got hit in the face with the uh I was listening to what The Adventure Zone, and I thought it was okay. I mean, they were trying to do what I was saying. They weren't getting drunk. They were avoiding the pitfalls because there's pitfalls and all this stuff. So they were telling a story. They were becoming the characters, right? Um, they were not funny at all. They were doing that thing where they think if they all laugh, what they're saying is funny. They weren't funny, but at least they were trying to like make a story and like present it, like a television show or a production. There was production. That's what I'm talking about. There's production. Couldn't think of the word. But they get to this point in their podcast and they start like going to this character's backstory, and it's a magical wizard whose name is Taco, right? Sounds retarded, right? It is retarded. But then they start like bringing up all these gender politics, like, oh, I have a twin brother, but he transitioned from a girl, but they don't go by he or she, it's they, and this and that. My jaw fucking unhinged from my head, it detached from my body, and then fucking meteor spiked into the ground, and fucking Mario de-aired fucking right into the ground and just fucking tunneled a hole to the center of the earth. That's how hard my jaw dropped off my face. What the fuck are you talking about? Fucking he, she, they in a fucking D&D podcast about a fucking wizard named Taco? What the fuck? Shut the fuck up. I'm not listening to your fucking fantastical story to be preached on. Fuck off. That show was terrible. Oh my god. I had such high hopes. People recommended it. People I know today still like it. They still praise it or whatever. It's fucking dog shit. It's there's no edge to it because it's sanitized bullshit. And the only thing I can think of is these people want their podcast to become popular, so they get on these big sponsorship like podcast networks, right? That's what everyone wants. There's Max Fun, there's a bunch of them. That's what they want to get onto these podcast networks. So they gotta like be so fucking annoying. Just it's not even like political or anything like that. It's so annoying. Just give me entertainment. What is so hard to understand about that? I know. Who am I to ask to, want an hour of my life to be somewhat enjoyable? I download your podcast and I just want to support your creative endeavor. What's how dare I ask to be entertained for that hour? How dare I? Fuck off. I'm not listening to your fucking shitty podcast. You can fucking take your gay taco wizard and go fucking jump off a cliff. No one gives a fuck. That's another problem of D&D podcast. Let's keep going, keep going. Let's just next topic, next point. We talked about them being drunk. We talked about them when they're all political and stuff. We talked about how they're sexist because they won't actually get a group of girls, but also they're not like savvy enough to meet a new woman, so they just bring one of their wives in, and then it's just completely awful because they're just like spousal fighting on the podcast. Everyone's like, ugh, ugh, ugh. And it's like, who wants to fucking listen to, two fucking 30-year-old boomer married fucks? Like, have a tiff. So we'll go past that. Let's talk about actual D&D. Because I've been talking about podcasts and how they're all terrible. Let's talk about actual D&D. D&D was not made to be listened to. It was made to be played. Simple as that. There's a couple of problems. One of them is a small problem because not every podcast, D&D podcast, does this that I listen to, and I've listened to quite a few. I would say dozens of them. Um, Not everyone does this, but they always do like an episode 0 or whatever, and you can just skip it too, so it's not that big of a deal. But they do like character building as an episode. Who the fuck wants to listen to that? Who wants to hear these people roll the stats for their fucking imaginary characters? Not me. Not me. I don't want to hear what traits you pick. When I play D&D, I don't even want to hear what I'm doing. I would rather just hit a randomize button and just get something random. Who the fuck wants to listen to this bullshit? Fuck off. And they do it anyway. And it's like, can't you like just put this like in a document if you want people to see your character sheets so they can see what you're building? Why do we have to hear you make it? Why? Why can't we just get the finished product? When you go to a restaurant and you want a nice dinner, do you ask to go into the back and see the chef make it from scratch? No. I don't want to see that. It's fucking boring. I want to be out here talking with my family or whatever girl I'm trying to fuck. And then when the food's ready, bring me the finished product. Not that hard, people. Just do it. It's fucking easy. But, that's not that big of a deal. And like I said, a lot of podcasts don't do that or circumvent it by putting up 2 episodes in the beginning. And you can just skip the one where they're just doing character building. That's not a big deal. What is a big deal is the worst part about D&D as a podcast is the combat. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's the worst. There's so many issues with it. I don't even think I can even get into it all tonight. Okay, first problem. 1. D&D 5e has the worst combat system of any tabletop game. I don't even play tabletop games. I only listen to D&D podcasts. It has the worst one. The rules are so boring and shitty. The only thing worse than playing that shitty combat system is listening to it. The second problem is everyone is so concerned about getting like the best turn. So they sit there and they plan and they're pulling out all their cards and their stats and I have a +2 in animal handling and they're trying to like come up with a way to, you know, maximize the event on their turn, but this is all for nothing. And here's for a couple of reasons. One, depending on the initiative, right? Who goes at what turn? The guy in front of you could die. Let's say you were, expecting to, shoot your bow into a goblin, right? And let's say, you're a wizard and you're gonna, or you're an archer and you're gonna fucking kill this fucking goblin, right? This motherfucker, he's gonna die. And then your wizard friend just fucking Sonic fucking, Street Fighter 2 Sonic booms him,